Welcome to lead4ward Q&A, Questions and Actions. This video is dedicated to the design and rigor of STAAR as we learn from the first administration of the test. My name is Knezek, President of lead4ward. We hope you find this video and others like it helpful in improving instruction for your students. Many of us have had this question in our minds. How rigorous was STAAR? And was all that work we did last school year about readiness, supporting, and process standards really that important to our student success? Well, the short answer is this. STAAR was much more rigorous than TAKS, and all of the work that we did was incredibly important because each of the standard types helped us to improve learning for students. In June, TA released the student expectations that were tested this past spring. But what did we find out? We found out that readiness standards were assessed more frequently, process standards were assessed in context, and we could infer based on readiness and supporting data where the student may have missed some of the major concepts. When we look at the design of STAAR, there were three standard types. Let's investigate each of them very briefly, thinking ahead toward next school year. We had readiness standards. They were assessed more frequently. Well, more frequent assessment means this. Students have to show that they know the concept not only with samples used in class or ways that we practice on assessments, but in ways that don't look like those ways. They have to transfer their learning. We have supporting standards. Often supporting standards represent the scaffold for learning, how a student gets to a concept that may be assessed as a readiness standard. And finally, we have the process standards, which are the tools to know and the ways to show. They're the ways that a student accesses their learning, tools to know. On the lead4ward website, on the STAAR resources, you see this synthesis. Across all grade levels, we see that in math, science, social studies, and reading, students have to have some tools in order for them to access the content. But as educators, we also want our students to show us that they know something. And so the process standards give us that information. So as a teacher, what I would look at first this year before I even start any of the other data pieces is how did my kids do on the processes? Do they actually have the tools to access their learning? And can they demonstrate that they know something? Now TA has told us that STAAR is a more rigorous test. Let's remember why. STAAR is more rigorous because the items themselves were more rigorous, simply meaning the items matched the cognitive or the thinking level of the text. STAAR was also a more rigorous test because the design was more rigorous. If I ask a student to show that she can apply her learning in 3, 4, or 5 ways, I really know whether she got it or not. Now, this is a very, very short video on the design and rigor of STAAR. On the lead4ward resource page, we have many, many resources to help you out here. But hopefully this and other videos like it will help you and improve instruction for your students. Thank you and have a great school year.